And we are eventually here. We are back for episode 9 of Skill Issue. Who cares about the WCW? We're here to talk about the Manawatu Maelstrom. And I'm here with Tate as always, and then Courtney, who came second at the event. We tried to get Matt on, and then he said, "Nah, I'm going to India. You guys can go get screwed." So we're like, okay, cool. Courtney's cooler anyway, so we got him here. Thank you very much, Courtney, for coming on.
No worries.
How you doing?
Yeah, good. It was a good weekend. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So the main thing we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be going through the event itself, what it kind of is all about, how your run, Courtney, and then even maybe talk about we'll talk about your list, we'll talk about Matt's list, who ended up winning. You guys played in the final as well, so it'd be interesting to kind of talk about that. As much as that may not have been the most exciting game in the world from what I've heard, but it was still interesting to talk about that, and because Matt's list was also very unconventional, I think. From the kind of stereotypical list. But before all that, Tate, how's your week been?
Week's been good. Hopefully we're back on the horse. I had a big weekend of practice games, so maybe my washed era is over. We'll find out in the ANZ League this week, I guess. It's been good. Just managed to secure a Mauler Fiend for my EC, so I can stop running 1,000 Suns Forge Fiend and pretending it's a Mauler Fiend.
Good.
Be good. Yeah. Other than that, being a pretty chill one. Yeah, just had some games with some mates in the weekend. That's about it. What about you guys?
Yeah, I haven't been doing anything super crazy. We're me and my wife are starting to look at buying a house, so we did a bunch of stuff with that. So we started looking at properties and stuff, very early days, but it's been fun. One of the houses we went to was obviously a student flat, and it just smelled like vomit all the way through. I'm like, oh, this is horrible. This is definitely very Dunedin though, so it felt very on brand. So that was very funny.
That sounds perfectly on brand for your wife, because it's a piece of Dunedin history, right? So
yeah, very true. Very true. She is an archaeologist, so she must love that, right? That's how that works. But no, yeah, really chill. Played a couple of 40k games. Played a game with Orcs again, and then I played my ANZ league game, the TTS league game. And that was good. Played against ACDC Spam, and I was able to get a win there, so I enjoyed that. I love my Wrath of the Rock list day. It's so much fun. It's just easy to pilot. It's fun. You can explain everything you can do, and your opponent just doesn't know how to deal with it, or it's oh, these are issues. Yes, they are. You have to deal with them. It's a very fun way to play. So I've been enjoying that, and then just also the durability of the army is also pretty fun. And I've been really enjoying that. Yeah, but that was kind of my weekend, and then just been working crazy. I've done a few videos this week, so I've been pretty I'm proud of myself that I actually got more than one video out in a week, which is definitely not like me. And I actually have more banked, which is the first ever. I actually have 2 other videos that I haven't just uploaded the minute that I finished them, so that's impressive.
Yeah, I heard about a couple of these. I'm interested to see. Nothing on the level of this podcast, of course, but You're incomplete without my input. But
that's very true. Yeah. No,
nice,
cool.
nice. No, it's been the work life side's pretty boring. Daily grind. The Warhammer side, it's quite hard to get games here in Martin. Hence the internet quality of the webcam at the moment. We're kind of back in the 90s here, so yeah, few and far between. But no, I've just hooked up on TTS, so I'm keen to get on that, man. It's going to help get some more 40k in.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, it's real cool when you sort of when I first got TTS, I hated it initially, but when you get the ball rolling and you get used to it, it's so good to be able to just get pick up games and get consistent good quality games as well.
Just more reps. I went from one game a fortnight to 2 to 3 games a week. It just even if they're not to the same level of game, just playing games more, just so you get a better feel for your army at least, is so valuable. And also just so quickly to set up. I want to try a new army. Cool. There's the models. I really like that side of things. being able to like playtest stuff without having to like proxy a battle wagon as like a wave serpent or something like that is really nice.
That's a terrible proxy.
It's true. I've definitely done stuff worse than that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trying armies before you jump in, like you got obviously New Zealand tax. Yeah, that certainly helps.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So are we kicking off then?
Yeah, I'll transition over to BCP.
Oh yeah, we're going to be doing the awkward I talk and you scream.
Hell
again.
yeah! I'll just your IT person now, mate. Here we go.
That's all you ever were. This is my
wow. The true relationship is out.
Yeah. Airing our dirty laundry. No, I guess Courtney, before we get into like your round by round and that kind of thing, do you want to just give us a brief overview of what the tournament was, like the format and that kind of thing, like terrain, rounds, points, that kind of all of that stuff?
Yeah, sure. So this was the third annual iteration of Manawatu Maelstrom. So we haven't had much of a tournament scene in Palmy, though, we are, I suppose, into the third year now. Usually players from around here travel down to Wellington or up to Auckland or Rotorua Lakes, Hamilton, but we never really had a scene. And that's kind of changed in the last couple of years, especially with this year's organizer, Ben Bennell. He's really stepped up. He's kind of the guy who's, before we had host little events, there's, long weekend, Warhammer Days at his place. He's really cool, and he's sort of gone to the next level now, and he's become a TO and organising these events. Got himself a laser cutter for terrain, which is pretty essential these days. All right.
Yeah.
We're in the big leagues. Yeah.
We're fully sorted now with terrain, and so at this event, it's I think it was 80% WTC terrain at the end, and then the rest of it was Games Workshop, which is a bit of a interesting mix because if you get the sweaty end like me, it's quite different how they play. But yeah, that five rounds, 2,000 points, nothing super unusual in terms of the format.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have a question, IT man?
No, go for gold. Go for gold. I'll sit in my hole.
Yeah, come on, please. No, I guess the one question I had about the formatting was, did that impact on like the GW WTC split? Did that impact on your list building at all? Because obviously you're playing Shadowmark, which is a lot better on GW, or at least some units that you'd typically see in Shadowmark is a lot better on GW, and the formats play pretty differently. And then I opened and had a gaze at your list, and there's a lot of the sort of core pieces from Shadowmark that I would have expected to see in some of the more typical meta lists are not there. So I was just wondering if you had any, like, if there was a model availability, or if it was a specific thought process.
Yeah, there's it's always I was going to say 3, maybe 4 things I think about going to an event. So first one is the terrain. As you say, WCC and Games Workshop very different, particularly for a list like this. You've got that key piece of the Centurion Devastators, which are still there, obviously, in the Inceptors. And so, with WTC, getting those sight lines, particularly when terrain touches the edge of the board, very hard. Whereas Games Workshop, you've got those big, long sight lines quite open. Though, I still quite like that, I was at Games Workshop 1 map, if you know. It's quite good. So I'm thinking, look, if I draw the Games Workshop, which I did once, should be okay with those cent devs. Yeah, they really come into their own there. But adapting Shadowmark for WCC is very not sure about. The other thing I was looking at are the missions that we were going to play. So there wasn't any Terraform, and there was Purge. And so not a fan of Terraform, yeah?
Or Purge. I think I probably hate Purge
good.
more, but that's the GSC player in me. Like I can play something that's like real. I could be playing like 18 Wraiths on Purge, and I'd see Purge, and I'd be like, "Fuck this mission," like it's ingrained trauma. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I kind of don't need as many little mission play dudes if I'm playing Purge and no Terraform. Don't need to press as many buttons, right? And so there's that. There's kind of who's going as well, and what they're likely to bring, and yeah, to the last one, model availability. I pretty much had it covered there. But sometimes I want to play something new at a tournament, so I have, with a couple of kids at work, some incentive to finish models, right? So in this case, I'd picked up some models from Simon Smith. He had, and I'd, in going to wanting to play Shadowmark was the new Raven Guard character, right? Very cool model.
Oh yeah, he's
Ethan
like,
Shawn.
yeah.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you think of the list?
Shall we go
As
through
you
it?
said, you opened up, had a look. Sure.
Yeah, that's probably the next point of call is we can go through the list.
I'll bring it up.
IT, bring it up.
It's done, boys.
Oh, nice. This is why I pay you the big bucks.
That's the one, mate.
Yeah.
I do like the list name is pretty tidy. Just deploy, delete, disappear. Like it's clean. I like it.
Accurate for dev sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to run us through it, Courtney?
I don't have it in front of me actually, so
Okay, I can do it. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So we've got Raven Guard, Shadowmark Talon, as we have discussed, and then we've got Ethan Shawn, who's the new character. He's like a little lone op. He can when he's in Shadowmark, you can uppy downy something for 0 CP or 1 less CP. And then he's got free rapid and free heroic on himself, right? Like that's kind of what he does. Yeah. And then he's like a sort of reasonably good combat piece.
That's
got
too.
Captain and Barabbas. Yeah.
Sussets 2 and melee is just what a vibe.
Whenever you see Sus 2 and Twin Linked, it's like with Oath.
When you give that boy Oath.
Yeah.
+1 to wound, he's just wee. He just whips it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got the first thing that I think is a bit different is Captain and Gravis armor with I assume the Blackwing Shroud is what replaced Ghostweave Cloak for the new so it's the Lone Op stuff? Yeah.
No. So if I just recall the characters real quick. So got Ethan Shan. As you say, he does what he does. He is the reason to run it, really. He just unlocks so much of the play pattern for that with the free uppy downy. There's sort of 3 enhancements. The one you mentioned is the lone up one. I haven't seen many people like using because you've got this guy Ethan Shan and your sort of combi lieutenant guy running around. A third lone op's kind of like, what is it doing? So the other enhancements that are there are the infiltrator unit, which has been again I think renamed from the old Vanguard one. You've got the Lord of Deceit, is it? I
don't know what it's called. But the Vect one. Yeah.
Add CP. And the one that came out with this one is the first turn from reserves, but without the restriction of rapid ingress. So you can rapid ingress a unit. Yeah. So that was quite popular. So I guess having a look at what other people are doing with this, I think there was quite early, there was a trend out, I think so John Lennon from Art of War put out a kind of list that became the solved list for Shadowmark. Yeah. So, very Games Workshop terrain pilled, as someone has told me. It had the Scent devs, lots of Inceptors, an extra unit of Scent devs, some jump pack guys to do stuff, and the characters plus I think 20 Vanguard vets. 10 now along with the other Raven Guard character who I took along as well, and 10 to come in with a captain with this enhancement, so that essentially rapid in turn 1 is a thing, right? It's not fun.
Naughty. Yeah, it shouldn't be allowed. It really shouldn't be a thing.
It is naughty. It's very naughty.
There's one way of describing it. Yeah.
But I played about maybe 6 games leading into this tournament. As I said, it's kind of hard to get games in Martin. And I just couldn't use, playing on WCC, I couldn't use this unit very well at all. It's kind of a, if your opponent knows it's coming, they just screen the turn earlier, right? And Vanguard vets are not great. They're okay. I think if you're looking at how this list has been playing on Games Workshop, it's very momentum based, and because you've got the firepower of the Scent Devs and the Plasma Scepters, you just delete stuff every turn to the point you table your opponent, and having that turn 1 ingress kind of gets the tempo going in your favor, right? So, and then you just ride that, you just finding the angles, and you just like deleting stuff, and scoring comes whatever. But in my games, it wasn't working that way, because I'd have a good rapid, but you can just on WTC screen out. You can protect your army a whole lot better in turn 1, and I just wasn't getting there. So I decided, look, if it's just not working, I'll just cut it and try and go a different way with to try and get Shadowmark working on WTC. And the other thing I found, sort of, because I did start with this solved medalist, right, to see how it was going, and I lost. I played a game in Games Workshop, and it was great, as you'd think. Played on, kind of stress tested it on a couple of WTC maps that weren't very good for it. I was playing, I think, Ricky's. What are they called? Space Wolf, Stormlance, Thunderwolves in your face, and another fellow, Alex's Grey Knights. He's playing the Warplane Task Force as well, and they just tore it apart. Like, I'm like, am I really going to take this now? Like, I'm just decided, like, okay, back to the drawing board. So, and one of the things I found in that game, you can't really be as aggressive on the WTC terrain to make the list work. And I was also getting really done on primary. So because of that, because I couldn't get the tempo going, and then it's really hard to hold my, the sort of natural expansion that you have, right, and score that second primary objective, because these kind of dinky units, 3-man Scents, or 3-man Inceptors, 5 Space Marines. Most opponents can just chuck something in to stop your primary pretty easy, right? So I decided I'd just try and make it play a bit more straight, try and find a way to sort of lock in my primary, my natural expansion objective, and so then put a bit of pressure on that way, so then I can get the sense in the game, because it forces the opponent to come out and, if they want to hit your stuff.
Is that the 10 heavy intercessors?
That is the 10.
That is my next
I just
question.
been like hovering over them this whole time, being like, there is a big asterisk right here.
I don't know how competitive this unit is, right? But it's not one you're going to ever see anyone else. But I thought, look, I tried, a big Gravis unit with Calgar in the Ultramarines Vanguard version. It's quite cool. I like the infiltrate with that. That kind of gets the game going. And heavy intercessors have a lot of problems,
yes.
But they have a lot of good things going for them as well, in that it's quite a lot of beef for not that many points. It's OC2. The guns aren't high volume, but they're pretty good, and so they're pretty good at clearing out trash. Which I also struggled with in playing, especially the Grey Knights. You've kind of got your big hitters with the Plasma Scepters and the Scents, but unless you're sending in, you're managing your melee piece as well, picking up trash is kind of an issue. And so just having something you can just don't really care about, but has that ability is quite cool. And so the problem that the heavy intercessors have is, if anyone does have a lot of anti-infantry 3 damage stuff, they do get picked up. But in this detachment, they get a bit of a stacking defense with that -1 to hit.
Yep.
So just
Yeah.
makes this Gravis body a little bit tougher. They're slow, so getting them onto an objective is a problem. And they also don't like being touched by anything because they don't do anything in melee. So you got this big brick that does
Yeah.
nothing. So this detachment kind of actually solves some of those problems because you can infiltrate them
Yep.
with the Gravis Captain you mentioned, who's got the enhancement. And so you can essentially just plonk them where you want them to be and be, all right, I'm going to lock in this with this and come at me. And if you do, you've got to set something real, and then the
Yep.
big pieces can get into play, right?
Yeah.
So this is probably not the high level analysis you're looking
Hey, it's
for.
cool. It's actually really
Hey,
interesting, like to see the thought process.
Yeah.
It's cool to
Anyhow,
see like an alternative take on a meta list as well, right? Like, or like a meta detachment, but like a not, like you say, not the solved list is interesting. Like,
yeah, I do. Yeah, what I found is if I just rip, the latest stuff out of War or UKTC or whatever, it's quite hard in itself because it's not quite adapted. It'll be for Games Workshop terrain or UKTC. It's not quite for, And if I'm also building my own from the ground up thought process and the
you understand it a lot better. Yeah.
your play pattern, how I want a list to work, as you say, it goes a lot better, right? So yeah. And the other thing this big chunky unit of guys has, other than the fact I just sort of got 10 models off my mate Simon, so I wanted to build them and play them in some way. Which is a strong consideration, you might say. The list does solve gives them a few other bones as well. You've got the economy with the free strat captain. You've on the SCP. You've got the ability to the big things with Shadowmark, other than the Centaurs upping Downey, is you've got the -1 to hit and in cover from more than 12 inches away is actually pretty good on everything.
It's better than you think.
It's better than you think. It's better than you think. And the big difference between this and the Vanguard, which is kind of modeled off, is you lose the really janky strat in Vanguard where you fall back when someone declares a charge on you.
Yep.
But you gain fallback, fallback, shoot, and charge for a CP, which is a really good strat.
Also helps with like the heavy intercessors getting tagged because you can at least still do
Exactly.
stuff with
It
them.
solves
Fall
that
back,
problem they have.
clear the trash unit that they're tagged with, and then still be able to do stuff.
Truly does like solve, like you're saying. So also, do they still have the +1 save versus damage 1 as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
so you stick
that
them on
and
and
in
it's like,
cover and AOC.
which comes
Like-
up a little bit more than you think as well. Damage 1. Some armies though, you're like toughness 6, 3 wounds, 2 up save, a lot of bodies. It's like, how do you interact with that without getting the blowback from the rest of the army? So that was the idea. It didn't always work in the weekend, but it works pretty well. Some of the games.
Nice.
Yeah. Once I played a game versus Adam Camilleri on player place terrain where he'd like built like a similar thing for the player place terrain where it was like the 10 infiltrators with the librarian that gives them loan up, and he first drops like a ruin just like backwards against the board edge on like one of the objectives and then just infiltrates them there, and I was like, I can never flip it. Like it's just like no way unless he just like lets me walk. Yeah. Great minds think alike. Crazy. Yeah.
So the rest of my list, obviously there's that. So the game plan is kind of play a more slow and steady. I'm going to pressure you on the scoreboard rather than just table you out the gate. And it's
boring.
quite good for singles, right? Yeah. So the rest of the list was, as I said, cut that turn 1 Vanguard bets. Wasn't working for me. Stuck with the infiltrate thing and cut the Vector off the combi lieutenant. That was a bit of a New Zealand captain, David Gallard's idea. He played this. He played the list in one of those commentary GT, I think it was. Did a bit of a thing afterwards, which I fiended, and
nice.
Yeah. And he sort of had the same thing playing these games. It's not that good. Like chucking, like Vector's really good, and you think, cool, 30 points. I'll chuck it on this guy. You know, his reactive move Vect, his lone op. That's pretty cool. But Combat Lieutenant is a really good piece on its own, just to go and do what you need to do. The one scoring piece I kind of have. He just be's annoying, forces people to come on objectives. He runs away or he goes and screens, that kind of thing. As soon as you chuck a Vector on that, you don't want to use him like a Combi Lieutenant. You want to use him like for a Vector, but then he's not, you kind of lose the value of that. So you've got a 100-point guy who's a Vect. And at that point, you can just take the Assassin.
Yeah, which does that job better.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like question then, do you want Vect in Shadowmark Raven Guard where you're shooting? And it's the difference between Vect and shooting army and a melee army is night and day. You want that your melee matchups, but shooting army, it doesn't move the needle that much. So did cut that. And then to sort of give the list some, so I cut out all the little fiddly 3-man Centurion Devastators and the Inceptors, and I wasn't finding they were great. And then sort of looked at what else was going quite well for Stan Marines at the moment, and it's I think the Redemptor Dreadnoughts when they came down in points.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah. So that was the other big part. A couple of them in the list, and they just kind of work well in the same way as with this rule set as the heaviness is good. The -1 to hit on the Dread, it's already
really
-1 damage. It's already top save. It's pretty good. Just adds that little bit more on. And the fallback and shoot and charge. It's the same thing. They go in the middle or go on objective, whatever. Get tagged up. Melee's kind of fake on those guys. You don't roll your 3-ups to hit. But if you can fall back, shoot and charge, then it takes away a big problem they have, right?
The AP4 on the plasmas as well is genuinely such an amazing breakpoint. Like AP4 on a gun is just very good.
It is good. Yeah, are you sure it's AP4? Yes.
So was I playing it wrong the whole weekend? No.
Yeah. When you started talking about the characters, I misunderstood you, and I thought you were saying that Black Wing Shroud was the rapid ingress turn 1. And I was like, it is not. How do I tell him that he cheated all weekend without calling that on stream? Like, oh.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Did I play anything wrong? Like, no. But the only enhancement I took was essentially infiltrating these heavy intercessors. And so, I kind of did away with the other cool things. But most of it was just, as you say, the Cent Devs do what they do. They up and down. They try and find a line, try and delete something every turn, or at least pressure in a way. And then -1 to hit, pretty good. Holding primary, good. Fall back and do stuff, really, really good.
Just playing good 40k with Dev Sense, just teleporting around and doing stuff is kind of what the list looks like. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and then you kept the Vanguard vet unit with Shrike, which is just like rapid ingressing a lone op unit that is moved 12 advance and charge is just cursed. So
that's the other cool thing about, I guess, reason to play Raven Guard is that unit. That unit's good. It's people don't lose a lot. How do I deal with this?
Yeah, the fun thing is you don't.
It deals with you.
It gets to kill one thing like guaranteed, and then you deal with it is kind of like the answer to it.
All right. Shall we kick into your first round, which is against Lewis Fun-Nell, which I'm not sure if that is the last name or if Lewis is making himself fun. I'm not sure.
He is a fun guy, is Lewis. I think Fun-Nell is his name, so just emphasizing the fun. Oh, do you remember this one? Black Templars, Black Templars on Hammer and Anvil, Take and Hold on WTC. It was a reasonably good WTC map. in that, again, terrain, not really touching the sides. It was, Lewis had played me beforehand. We hadn't actually played much at all. Like, I think we had the first time we'd had a game was the weekend prior to the event. And and it didn't, at that time I was still mucking around with that turn one deep strike. That game sort of was a bit of a sort of walkover in the end. And so he was like, oh, okay, now I'm sort of got the yips coming into this first game of the event. I've seen what this can do, even though it was kind of remodeled list. And to his credit, he played a lot better than that initial practice game we'd had. I think Vanguard then too strong of a matchup for Black Templars, especially one of the other things like putting Redemptors in is they just really shore up that matchup against your Black Templars and your Blood Angels with your damage too. They do not like them. And I don't like those, so I like to put on the Redemptors. It's quite good. Yeah. It's, I think, not the best matchup there.
Right.
So I was kind of able to push what I need to do with that one. Yeah.
Nice. Yep. Like sometimes you're just in a good matchup, right? Like sometimes that is like in singles, like sometimes you like the pairings gods just give you like a little bit of help, especially like rounds 1 and 2. If you get into an easier matchup, not from like player, but just from literally like list matchup to list. Like sometimes like cool, okay, I just play my game and I can just like play it the way that I want to play it. I don't have to take any risks. Like stuff like that can be really nice to get your tournament rolling as well. Like I think that's can be really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. It's a good start. Some of the others there was some like brutal pairings round 1.
Yeah.
I think Wes played CJ.
Oh yeah.
Apparently they were even being on the same team.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be paired up. Ben had thought they were grudging each other, so he's like, cool. No, we did not grudge each other. Yeah. I was like, too late. Can't redo the pairings. I think it was a joke that got taken seriously, and so those were, I'm having a sort of quite chill game, doing, as you say, doing what the army needs to do, and those guys out there sweating it out. Quite tight rounds as well. 2 hours 45 per round. So that gets for our area, where there's quite a new players. That's quite pointy. So not every game wins.
Yeah, there's quite a few games that just based off the score look like they might not have finished.
Yeah, gone to time. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Round 2. What do we got? We got the spinny circle. Where
into Liam How?
Liam, yeah. Okay, this was a really good game. He's a really good guy. Liam, spoiler, came 4th in the event. Yeah. He was playing Necron's Star Shatter, I think it was.
Yes.
And this was a match on Games Workshop terrain, Games Workshop layout 1. So it was quite good. Though, so got to respect these. He was playing double Doomsday Arc. I think he didn't have a 3rd Doomsday Arc, otherwise he would have ran one. Plus the Silent King, plus the sort of usual Necron shenanigan stuff. No race, just clean shooting and stuff to go and score.
Yeah.
And that so it was.
I'll just point out the list name is literally I don't have a 3rd Doomsday Arc. So
good.
This is the worry, I suppose, is the Doomsday Arcs, the 4 damage into the centers. So just ensuring that nothing silly happens there. Ultimately, I think I went first in this one. Put the I keep saying the Centurions. Put the heavy intercessors on as the plan. Lock in the little corner. You got to come and do something. Whereas he's again feeding out.
Yeah.
And first turn advantage just kind of snowballed that into some momentum. He pushed out on the turn he chose, and it just didn't work out for him. just the dice did not work out for him.
Sometimes that happens. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't kill the little hammer strike, which was, again, I think you mentioned, was in this list. Very good for a shooting list to have ignores cover or strips cover.
Yeah.
I think this thing lived on a wound. It lived a charmed life.
Oh.
It had a charm weekend actually, which we'll get to. But he got a bit back. Like, I couldn't kill the Silent King. Like, got him down to a couple of wounds. But yeah, ultimately, the Raven Guard did Raven Guard things, right, on Games Workshop.
I think there's like, looking at this, there's like a problem with him. It's pretty hard for him to come reach you, right? Like, there's the Scorpic units, I guess. Oh no, he doesn't have Scorpic destroyers. He just has the Lords. Yeah, I don't know how he comes and gets you. Really, is the problem.
Yeah, so it's like, how do you get me off? How do you get 10 heavy intercessors off the thing? You can't.
Yeah.
Whereas, I can throw some stuff in. Yeah.
Yep.
Starshed is an interesting one. Like, again, you don't really want to put anything on objectives. You've got to be mindful of that. But they don't have to fall back and shoot. So you just go and touch
he
the
doesn't
stuff.
have it.
And Starshed, I think you just touch them, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, there's an enhancement for it, which he does have.
Yeah.
It's like one thing that's near the character.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's definitely something that, like, ways to play around it, right? Like, and even being on objectives, if the things that they're fighting you with aren't actually scary, like the 10 heavy intercessors, actually, like, what in that list apart from the Doomsday Arcs actually, like, worry you realistically? So you're like, nothing real, right? So you just, like, chill there and like, cool, okay, you come and attack me. Like, I'm actually probably going to punch you out more before you punch me out.
When the Silent King combat's not going into them, because they're 3 wounds, right?
Yeah.
They are 3 wounds. Yeah. So he'd check out his little indirect and be like,
Yeah.
And Silent King goes into them, then Silent King dies to death sentence the next turn. So
yeah, that was the idea anyway. It didn't quite work out for me that way. Like, but it was also a purge game. Great mission. We love Purge the Foe.
The one Necron list that has no wraiths on Purge.
It's cursed.
The blessed life. Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously Liam, he had a great event because he came fourth. So that was his only loss.
Anyone that runs no wraiths has earned my respect.
Oh, so. More respect than any other Necron player I know.
Yeah. Yes, that is a pointed comment.
Yes.
Yeah, sick. Cool. So round 3. What do we got? You've got Richard Holman on Astra Militara. Looks a bit closer, this one. Yeah.
Round 3 was a bit hard. Day 1. Playing that third round. Richard was running the Triple Dawn. Very fun. Triple Dawn. I recall he had Bulgrin, Triple Dawn. He had Hellhounds for the cover, Sentinels, essentially all the stuff to make the Dawns do what they do. Which I found out Hellhounds have 2-up save and they're tough to send. What is that?
Yeah, they're really good.
What is that? I thought they're like mirrors, right? But no, they're really good. Really good.
They're like sub 100. When I was trying to make Brood Brothers GSC a thing, I was playing double Hellhound. They're crazy for the points, like just as a body. Yeah.
He had I think a couple of tank vanquishers, the ones with the big shot.
Yeah.
Lehman Russ. Yeah. So just to, it's the sort of, I mean, like, cool, I didn't play this on Purge, but that's about it, right? This was on WTC Return of the Super L's. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it had the 4 Super L's, and it was what's the other mission we all love? Supply drop.
Good.
He's got Bulgrin as well. This is crazy.
Yes. So at least I don't actually know how I won this game. To be honest, I don't know how that happened. I kind of do look at the score in the end, but this at least supply drop. It's always the middle one. Now that
Yeah.
small mercy, but the middle objective in the Super Elves map is just completely open.
Yeah, just like
And
every
then
firing lane. Yeah.
every firing lane
Yeah.
goes there, and then you've sort of got your natural objective that's behind the L, so it's super hard to get into. And I just looked and I was like, this bull, I didn't even try to go for his one at the end. And he was playing the Hammer of the Emperor, is it? With the vehicles
Yeah.
go through walls, go
Yeah.
really fast, shoot you, which I wasn't I haven't played much into. Again, need those reps, right? And
Mm.
so I wasn't sure. Apparently, it seemed, not a guard player myself, it seemed quite hard on the CP. Like, he's got to spend a lot of 2 CP strats to actually do this stuff.
Yep.
But I'm still
Yeah.
looking at, like, okay, this Dawn can go the better part of close to 20 inches movement through walls. It could do this. I'm like, oh, what do I do here? Long story short, because it could go on. This game, I went first on supply drop into this,
Sad.
so I can't do anything. But the saving grace was that I won the objective roll off. So
Oh,
my
nice.
objective became the 8.1 for round 4. Yeah. Which was the difference at the end of the game, is 8 points.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
yeah. So exact same secondaries we scored. None of us scored the 15 at the end. Neither of us, I should say. And yeah, I scored an extra point. That was it. So
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
it's quite fun.
Heavy intercessor value.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
baby.
It sounds like every game so far, the heavy intercessors have been like key.
No, so the heavy emphasis is not value here. I thought, as you know, I wasn't, again, I haven't played Dawns that much. So I said, okay, I think I had some sort of reason to try and just shove them and see what happens. At least I can't do anything against his army. If I sit back, I just lose. So I think, and it might have been the secondary involved, but I shoved these heavy intercessors in the middle. So, okay, if you shoot them, then I'll shoot you back next turn. We'll see what happens from there, right? I think one Dawn picked up this whole unit. One Dawn.
God.
Just 10 heavy intercessors and the captain with half damage. Just no, don't even matter. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am not sure what happened then. But on the flip side, I suppose the Centurion Devastators start on the board. They just walk up, shoot the Dawn. That did that. He had one Dawn in reserve, and just every turn they'd work on either killing a Dawn or picking up those tanks. And he always must have found something better to shoot at rather than these cent devs, or he just didn't feel like they were worth the effort. Being 4 wounds, T2, cover, damage 3. I don't know, but I kind of had that charmed life with the objective roll off, and also this hammer strike. I think he put at least 4 activations trying to get this 1 wound off this thing. Every time, the guard don't like the -1 to hit. He's just, or the last minute save. You roll a 5, you need a 5, you roll a 5. It's this thing led another charm life, and essentially this game was basically started the slug out. Everything just went to the middle because it's supply drop. Centurions just sort of walked up 4 inches a turn. So the end of the game was he had about 3-4 Bulgrins, a Hellhound. I smashed all 6 Centurion Devastators into the point. They're OC2, by the way, quite cool. And all the other little 5-man Marine units, and just tried to stop him moving stuff onto the point for the end of the turn.
Yeah.
And there might have been a way he could do it in the end. It was kind of a puzzle. He had his 10 guys ready to come out and go. I had put as much OC2 on this objective as I could. He had no Dawns left. He, not sure. He was sort of working out, can you put it, where do you go? How much can you put on? He decided, he's going to fall back his Hellhounds that were engaged with the Centurion Devastators, which meant that this attachment has a reactive move rule. So again, like I could move just a little bit more OC on. It's like, sure you want to do the fallback? He's like, yeah, I think I have to. But it just didn't work out. He needed to then charge his little infantry fellows in, and it didn't work out. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take
Yeah.
the risks to try and get the reward, and sometimes those risks don't get you the reward.
Chris,
for
you're
sure.
reminding
I
me
am.
of my desperate cat rhinos.
yeah. Like re-rolling a 2 up, good.
Yeah, but really, Richard's a real gentleman, as other people who played him said. He's a great guy to play.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that list is scary. 3 Dawns. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, there would have been some GW boards. Like, if he catches people on a GW, that would be arse as well.
That would be
Like,
rough, yeah. Just triple dawns on that. It's like, cool, you put anything on an objective. Like, especially the one where it's like the weird kind of like L shapes on GW. So, like, even the expansion is basically completely open. And you're just like, here's 2 dawns. Now nothing's alive. Good. It's like, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of it's actually like a good pick for the mixed terrain format, I think, right? Because it like Triple Dawn wants to play GW, and then Hammer of the Emperor somewhat solves the WGC problem. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's quite cool.
Cool. Let's take a look at round 4. Matthew Searle, again, Black Templars.
Yeah, again, Black Templars too. And my Space Marines also painted as Black Templars.
Oh, Black
One of
Templars.
The
those.
mad
I'm one of those
disrespect.
horrible. Look, I've got my Space Marine army, but I'm going to buy the characters from the other faction, paint them Black Templars, and away you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I support it.
I'm quite lucky in the sense that the other 2 undefeated armies were not. It was a bit. So there's obviously myself, Maddie's Black Templars, winner Matt's Grey Knights, and CJ's Jakari, which the Jakari matchup is not ideal really. It's a bit hard to get those scourges, and I've just also lost twice in events to CJ. She's really good. She's the New Zealand Scary.
Yeah.
Just
Dylan won't like that.
Yeah, so yeah, kind of fortunate there. I thought, okay, Black Templars. What do we had? Scorched Earth. This one, Scorched Earth, and Quarters was the map. It's interesting. So yeah, the heavy intercessors really came to their own here because initially WGC, yeah, big again really protected natural expansion objective on the long side. So you could fit 10 in there. It's like, come at me. He deployed. It's quite hard to deploy the repexes and move them around the board. And he sort of put forward his impulsor with one of his. So just his list. It's the usual Black Templars. Double repex, impulsor, triple sword brethren with characters. He's got Grimaldus with some insult incest, which I quite like. Emperor's Champion as well. A couple of line ops. That sort of stuff. Really, it's good Black Templars list. He put an impulsor on the line to kind of go at my expansion with one of his sword bro units in it.
Yep.
And sort of talking over the game is kind of a mistake because I had no other targets if I went first, which I did when the roll off. And so it's just oath on this thing. Heavy intercessors can step out, shoot it, and I'd positioned this hammer strike as well, so that it could kind of go either way with sight lines, and it could get the strip cover on this this impulsor. So it's like, okay, I've got no other targets. We'll go on this thing, and the hammer strike's just really good. Just a couple of D6 damage shots. It's taken off 7 wounds.
It's like 5 damage D6 shots, right? Like it's like surprisingly good damage.
The melt's a bit short range, right? 18 inches, but you just want the couple of shots to strip cover a lot of the time. And these heavy intercessors, the shooting's generally not much to write home about. You've got the heavy bolter profile, the strength 5, AP1, 2 damage, couple of actual heavy bolters in there, and sort of play this game. You're kind of lucky to kill 5 Marines in cover with that. But you've got options in this detachment. Again, you've got the strat for an extra ballistic skill and AP, so they like the extra AP to go to AP2, and they in the same way they really like the no cover from the hammer strike, which was kind of a late ad, and that was really glad I put that in. And just swap out the gun. I was running the other +1 to wound vehicle one, swap out the gun. So yeah, so they are really good. When you start stripping cover, giving them an extra AP, putting oath on, so the +1 to wound, those guns, didn't even need to use the strat in this case. They just take off this vehicle. That's fine. Gives me something in turn 1, and he made his 8-inch charge to follow up with the unit, and then Black Templar, Sword Brethren with characters. What don't they kill? Apparently they don't kill heavy intercessors. They killed 5. Sounds about right. You've
That's
got
funny.
They mean, like, he tagged the Dreadnought. He does the great combat moves. So he tags the Dreadnought with one guy, so he can get the rest into the unit. Because the Dreadnought's slightly short of charge, which he needed an 8, rolled an 8, and that's just those breakpoints, right? Toughness 6, strength 5, +1 to wound. So they're wounding on 4s, not 3s. It's damage 2 against wound 3. He gets the +1 AP. I get the free AOC from the captain, so saving on 5s, and you can get all the lethal 5s through and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you roll enough saves and you lose. Foul 11 saves, you're losing 5 guys. You're not taking morale. It's good. They did the thing, right? Yeah. And so from there, it's kind of just he had a couple of ways to go. I thought he should have been really aggressive and just tried to push, with the Gladius move, just try and push the Raven Guard. No, he sort of played it cagey, and it just didn't work out because I was able to lock in my safe objective, and sort of at the same time annoy his because he was holding it with lone ops. Yeah, it just sort of ended up the Centurions and the Plasma Scepters got their turn, picked up both Repexes and the second of the Sword Brethren, and he just didn't have enough left.
Yep. Very cool. Nice. Well done. 4-0. You must be feeling pretty good after.
Us, pretty good.
Yeah.
But just looking at, got to play Matt in the final. So spoiler alert, I didn't win this event. So I've put in for the WCC team this year. So if you are a selector, or you are, if David Gaylard, if you're listening, please stop listening now. So I can talk about this.
Don't worry, we'll redact this bit.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever played chess much? You dabbled in chess at all?
Yep.
Dabbled lightly. Yeah.
Do you know there's this thing called the Scholar's Mate? It's a 4, or it might be the 4-move checkmate.
Yeah.
So this game was the equivalent of me getting 4-move checkmated, right?
Yeah.
So Matt, do you know you've got his list?
Let's bring it up. Let's go through Matt's list before go through it. I think that'll be interesting because his list, I think, is one really interesting and just so unique, but also like very cool because of like how it functions. Cool. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is a cool list.
Yeah. So we've got a Grey Knight's Sanctic Spearhead, which is the go through walls. Basically Grey Knight's list, right? So all the vehicles can move through walls, and you get, is it psychic weapons get sustained or lethals? Is that?
Nah, you get auto advance 6 on vehicles, right. And assault. So the vehicles go very far through walls.
Yeah, super fast, right? Yeah. Sweet. So we have a Tech Marine. We got Crow. We got a Grandmaster and Nemesis Dreadnought with Sigil of Exigence. We got 2 strike squads. We got a Land Raider Redeemer. So like hell yeah. We got 2 normal Nemesis Dreadnoughts. We have a unit of 10 Purifiers, a unit of 5 Purifiers, and a Storm Raven gunship. Absolutely baller.
Big dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am a fan of the Storm Raven and the Redeemer,
Mm.
having done that before. It's good fun, but this is another level. So yes, auto advance 6 on the vehicles, but also the vehicles have assault. So they're going very fast through walls and shooting you with this
Yeah.
Redeemer or the Storm Raven. Storm Raven just flies over anyway. Yeah. The Crow unit, which is a nightmare of a thing to deal with. The Dread Knights. Anyone Grey Knights be familiar with those? This round was on Dawn of War, which is a choice, and a Lynchpin, I think it was. So it was the WCC Dawn of War map. Have you ever seen it? It's kind of got they've gone a bit of a different experimental way. The crates are not stacked; they are on the sides,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so you can essentially everything you can see over them. Like if you're a Nemesis Dread Knight, no worries.
Anything hypothetically a Nemesis Dreadnought.
Hypothetically, a Nemesis Dread Knight could just see over these bad boy crates. Yeah, and no, really, really cool list. I don't believe this detachment has won a GT before. So,
Oh. Has
Matt
now?
is the trailblazer, has now. Yeah. I remember, actually, I'm just thinking now. I remember when I won this GT with agents playing Steve Joel, and someone said, "Okay, you are the person who they will look at who lost the last game to agents," and it's a bit like this with this Grey Knights attachment. Who lost to that? It's this. Yeah, yeah. Very cool list. Very dangerous, and I sort of throughout this event, I kind of just been grooving one way with this list, right? Starting the Centurion devs on the board. If anything, I put in deep strike, it'd probably be the Plasma Interceptors, depending on the game. And it kind of got into this vibe where they can always pick up, right? Redeploy. If you know Grey Knights, they have a detachment rule, which is to pick up things at the end of your turn, kind of like this is what I do. And
Yeah.
Dawn of War, very unusual, very open back deployment.
Yeah.
So I deployed my army. I chucked these plasma interceptors in reserve. I decided, okay, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, not thinking about the matchup very well, not thinking about my deployment very well. And I played a game against Alex's Grey Knights and going second, and I didn't think about the implications, as any person who plays this game should, of going first against Grey Knights, where they get to pick up and go you. So long story short, I'd put my scent devs in the one piece of cover I had in my whole deployment zone, because it's a weird Dawn of War deployment. And there's this other bit of board edge was essentially had these crays, and it's kind of nothing, so I decided to ignore it. And for some reason, having not played an army I need to screen against all event, not screen the obvious I go first, and he hits me with Dread Knights at the bottom of turn 1. So yeah, that's exactly what happened. Matt picked up his Dread Knights. He went for his win condition, which is remove these Centurion Devastators off the board. His Storm Raven got in there as well. The Storm Raven actually completely did nothing, saved like a fiend. It's like, I might have this, but then his Grey Knight, Nemesis Dread Knights do what they do, and rolled well and made up for that. So yeah, it's kind of a non-event. After that, the game was done. It's sort of the equivalent of losing your queen piece, these Centurion devs.
Yeah.
And so I decided I'd play out and try a few things, and play to some outs and see what happens. But yeah, there's no sort of way coming back from that. So very from, I guess, there's nothing to say. It's always hard saying when you lose, right? There's nothing to say that had I played a decent deployment game, got my macro strategy right for the matchup, that Matt still wouldn't have won this game anyway. He's the NZ South captain. He's a very good player. one of those players who'd be better than me, and which is many in New Zealand. And yeah, so there's nothing to say that had I played a better game, that Matt still wouldn't have been the winner of Manawatu Maelstrom. But essentially, it's like, you didn't get to see how it would go in a good tight game. You kind of like just flopped it. So yeah, that's
It's
what it is.
it's just one of those like final round fatigue just happens. Like yeah.
Also playing
Yeah,
Dawn of
which is
War, like
yeah, that is
not a thing.
not
Like
yeah.
So yeah, it's usually I'm pretty good at having not not getting out a lot of reps, sort of looking in and picking the right wave, picking the right strategy for a game. But no, just no. So sorry I didn't give you a better game, Matt, but I'm sure he's not too disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, he saw that. Yeah. Damn it, it's gonna be a quick one.
Yeah.
Sad.
Very cool.
Nah, that's like yeah, I can't say I would have picked Dawn of War for the final round. But yeah.
Yeah. In fairness, thinking of TO things, this was a really, you wouldn't have thought this was Ben's first event. I don't know, I put a couple of pics up on the NZ WCC Discord that's got going now. Yeah, it's really cool. He we've had roped in a couple of sponsors. Thank you to Valkyrie Games and Hobby Lords, Pumpers North.
Nice.
Really came through. And he has put his laser cutter to good work and done a whole lot of trophies. We had winners for not just best paint and the podium places, but best in faction. We had best local player. Really cool, and a lot of like some really cool door prizes as well. There was a Magnus, Joy Toy models, Rogue Horn, some really sick stuff. So I think people had a lot of fun at this one, and some people got some really cool stuff to take away. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. It's really cool to see. Like, I feel like the event game just keeps getting better and better. Like year by year, more of them, and like better quality in terms of like terrain, TOing, prize support, play, like all sorts. It's just on the up and up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So shout out. We've got the plan for his next event is a teams event at the end of February. So I think February the 28th, March the 1st. 10 teams, full WTC. So enough tables to support that, and hopefully we get the numbers. If you're keen on teams 40k, which is you don't have to sell you guys on that, I'm sure. Really fun. Yeah. Check out BCP.
Whereabouts is that being held?
So it will be just outside of Palmy. There is an airport in Palmy if you want to come down and fly. But the drive is nice. We are just in the army camp at the moment, and I think that's going to be the plan going forward. It is a bit there's not a bit of a food desert, so there is a really good fish and chips for Saturdays. With other sort of food you'd expect around that as well. But yeah, Sunday's a bit of a problem. So sort of going forward, I think his plan is to put catering on. So get some like food in on Sunday. Subway catering I heard was floated around, that sort of thing, and really affordable as well. This GT, he set the ticket price at I think $30 for a weekend.
That's cheap.
We said, look mate, that's you're selling yourself short. For the caliber of event you're putting on, the terrain you're cranking out, the prize support,
that's
awesome.
Imagine paying $30 for a GT and walking away with a Magnus. That's crazy.
What a value. Very cool. It sounds like an absolutely great event. Like it's a gutted that we missed it, but yeah, it was sounds like a really good time. Sounds like a lot of people. I've talked to a few people, and they all said that they really enjoyed the event, which is like that's like the hallmark of a good event, right? When you have multiple people come out to you and be like, I wasn't even at the event, and I've had people tell me that it was a good event, which is like really, really important, right? Like, and it's just really cool that we're getting these events, not just Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, you know? Like, those are kind of like the places that tournaments are, some in Hamilton as well. But like getting these events in other places, because some people can't make that journey, 4 or 5 hours. Like, I used to literally drive, like, every weekend there was a tournament, like, I guess I'm going to Wellington next weekend, and I'll just drive to Wellington, and I'd take the 6 hours. But not a lot of people can do that. So having these other events, I think, is actually really important to grow the entire community within New Zealand as well. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So do you have any takeaways from the event? Are you going to be staying on the Shadowmark train, or are you jumping to the next medalist?
Jump to the next medalist, man. Chase that meta. I quite like the Marines at the moment. But I can't help but notice Ultramarines seem quite fun right now, especially with these new releases. We'll see what they shake out.
Yeah.
But even those aside, I've played the Ultramarines before. I quite like them. So Stormraven and Dreadnoughts. We see in this Wilson list, that looks quite fun. So
Yeah.
maybe see something like that. Otherwise, I don't know. The sisters haven't seen the table in a while, and they seem pretty cool.
Yeah. So this just did
1,000 subs
really
with
well,
the
right?
dubs,
Like
so-
at the moment. Like,
This is a good,
yeah. I think hopefully I think you guys will talk a bit about WCW, but if Admech Elder take it's T3 supremacy right now.
Yeah.
But
no, it's T6 supremacy. The heavy intercessor meta is coming.
Yeah.
There's no heavy intercessors and
know.
sisters.
So heavy intercessors probably actually quite good in the Eldari matchup, because how do Eldari actually beat just 30 bodies of wounds? Like, not well.
Easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, like, if you got Azimin, it's fine.
Oh yeah, Azimin is just like goodbye.
Good. Yeah.
But not a lot of the Eldari lists are running Azimin though, so like, there is that. But no, it's very cool. Now it's real interesting. Like, I think the meta's, it's weird that it feels the meta's really, really open, but at the same time it's like, if you can't beat one of these like 4 armies, you're also in like a really bad position. So if you can't beat Admech, Eldari, generic Space Marines of whatever flavor you want, like, you're in like an awkward position where it's like, oh, I just lose these games then. Like, especially the Admech, I think, is the really big one at the moment.
I think Admech is head and shoulders above. Like, Eldar is probably overtuned, but it's not. I don't think it's. Yeah. Like, I think Admech could lose a whole 2 units and be fine.
They just do so much damage now. That's the crazy thing. It's like, it's not just that they have a lot of stuff. It's like everything just like kills your stuff. It's not like it does like a little amount of damage. It's like, oh, I have sustained it too with full hit rerolls and AP1. It's like, what?
Yeah, it actually sounds stupid when you put it like that. Like, sustain 2 rich 5s, reroll everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is your scout unit?
Yeah. Mad.
Yeah, luckily in New Zealand though, you can count on one hand how many Admech armies full 2K there are out there.
Yeah.
I think I did see is it Michael Taylor selling his one?
Selling his, yeah.
See who jumps on that.
Yeah. Although
could be a grenade, with this new data slate coming out, but
yeah, I think he's possibly missed the boat a little bit. I wouldn't be buying an Admech army right now. I think it may have like a month left to go. Sorry, Michael, I just publicly told people not to buy your Admech.
All 7 of them. No.
Yeah. Oh, you had some interest, I think, in that chat. I had a look at it. I could buy a new Admech army after I gave Pardo my one.
Yeah, that'd be ideal. At least it'd be better painted.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Cool. Oh, should we go like a little talk about, since we kind of alluded to it, a little talk about WCW then, and then we can finish off for the day?
Yeah, sounds good. I honestly actually didn't keep up with it much. Playing an event over the weekend. Didn't see the streams really. Just followed along. Basically the question is, would Liam win it? How many Americans would he beat? Yeah. It seems it was quite good. Did you catch much of it?
I watched it retroactively. Like I wasn't, because me and my mates kind of play on like a Sunday. We try to smash out like 3-4 games, so I kind of missed a lot of it because of that. But I watched the Liam Siegler, Liam Folger, and damn, I'm just a huge Liam fanboy as well, and the Liam Johnson game. Yes. Yeah. It was. I thought they were very interesting in that, like, you could pinpoint like the exact moment someone lost in like all of them. It was like very sort of fine until it's not, and then it's just like done. You know, like I suppose that's kind of stereotypical of those sort of like very aggressive, fast armies. Like Eldar Mirror, EC Eldar Admech is not quite the same, but yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting when I think another like part of that was like it was fine until it's not, is when you have like these super high level players, like these are some of the best players in the entire world. When you give them like an avenue and it works, it's like, oh, this bounced off a little bit. Okay, now I have this avenue. I'm going to, capitalize on it. You don't get those little mistakes where someone might not capitalize it. They're going to get 100% of that right for that next movement, and then so any tiny like mistake or dice roll that didn't go your favor a little bit, you didn't get the average, or you didn't get like the 80%, they can capitalize on it, and then that micro can turn into this major kind of difference in a game as well.
Yeah, or it's like the win and loss condition are sort of so clearly and immediately understood that the game plan is sometimes like incredibly aggressive, because it's just like, well, this is what needs to happen.
Yeah, like the Folger Liam game was that like Folger went first and the Eldari mirror was like, well, I guess I just send it. Like, what else do you do?
Yeah, it's interesting. You gotta play that. Even if you might have a third of a chance, but if you don't do it, you don't have any chance. So, I've lost this critical role. Away we go.
Yeah.
Hope I draw that 1 out of 3.
Yeah. I remember there was a game that I played. This was OTT years ago. I think it may have been end of 9th edition. I was playing like the Ironstorm Dreadnought list, and I was playing against Luke Peruman, and he was just running like all tanks, Imperial Guard, and I was like, and it was like a light board, like the lightest of light boards. Obviously, it was before like WTC terrain, so it was just an actually just very light board. And I was like, well, whoever goes first wins. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm going to just deploy everything on the line. So I didn't even like care like where he was deploying. I was just like literally everything, all 6 of my dreadnoughts were on the line. Every model was basically touching my deployments. So I was like, I'm just going to go first, bro. And I rolled and I went first. I was like, cool, thank you. And just proceeded to like kill like 50% of his army turn 1, right? It's just like, sometimes you just got to get lucky, and like that's your out to winning the game. Like,
Yep.
Not the most fun way to win a game, but like sometimes it is like your only option to winning a game. So it's like, well,
yeah, and being able to identify that's quite like an interesting skill, because like if you get that wrong, and like if there's a part to win the game that does not involve deploying on the line, like
definitely, and like it is like you have to really know for certain that you cannot win it in any other way to do that. But I was like, I can't hide my army, and the only way to hide my army is if it's in the back of my deployment zone, and then I'm just not playing a game. So it's like, This was again before WTC terrain in New Zealand, so it was like the terrain was a bit of a wild west, especially at OTT.
Yeah, I feel I sort of like just missed out on that. Like when I started playing was kind of like that, but by the time I hit competitive, that had mainly phased to WTC. So I was very fortunate. Yeah.
I remember my favorite game at OTT. Well, it was not my favorite game. It was a horrible game, but it was just so funny of like a memory. The entire terrain was just 4 12-inch by 12-inch squares with no terrain on them, but they were obscuring. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, it's just like, how are you supposed to play 40k? And I was playing Custodians, so I had no staging, so I was like, I had to be behind the square. I was like, what the fuck is this? It was very funny. But no, so like, I guess, do you want to go through like the rankings of WCW? I think it's more just like takeaways from it than the actual like placings, right? It's probably more interesting.
I think placings is like, you're kind of placing the player at this level, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Liam VSL vets to LGT kind of thing, you know? Like
Definitely.
but
I
I think
do want to
that
shout out though that there is a Deathwatch player that came fourth. The rest of the Deathwatch
yeah.
players had an under 50% win rate, so this guy was literally holding up the entire like 6 Deathwatch players. But he has a really cool list, and he did really, really well. And he took out some pretty strong players along the way. He took out a couple of AdMech players, took out an Eldari player. Like, pretty cool list that he had. So I just wanted to shout out the Italian that ended up coming fourth, old Giorgio Castelli. I rate his list. It's very cool.
Kill Team Castelli. Yeah.
Kill Team Castelli, yeah.
I did read that, like, there's, I forget the name of it, but some of the kill teams you don't normally see are in that, eh?
Yeah, so like the Fortress kill teams, yeah, which I think are really interesting because they have the indirect gun, so they get the Desolation Marine Sergeant's guns. So one of them gets that. So like you still get 4 Hellblasters, you get 3 guys with AP2 bolters, you get 2 grenade launchers, you get the 1 flamer, and then the 2 of the Desolation Marines normal indirect guns, and then the 1 super indirect gun. So you get like a lot of guns like in there, and then you can give them sus hits for 1 CP or just army wide for a turn. Like you get some like pretty good stuff. So like just those little chip damage, but when you're shooting 2 lots of them with sustained hits and full hit rerolls, it actually does like substantial damage.
You were onto something with your Desos and Eldar meta.
Yeah. Apart from losing to the Eldari matchup,
not beating out with them. Yeah.
But what I did find with playing the Desolation Marines though is they just make the rest of your army punch up. Like you don't have to kill units with the Desolation Marines or your indirect, but like chipping it down to make sure the rest of your Marine units, because your Marine units often trade 1 for 1, but there's like it's only like 60-70% chance that you kill it. Whereas like you chip 1 or 2 people and then your 5 Van Vets or something does actually guarantee the kill. So it's like stuff like that to ensure that your trading is going through, so it makes your game a lot more consistent in that regard, which is what I kind of found really helpful. Also, there's a 1 strat in 1 CP strat in the Black Spear Task Force for anti-infantry 2+, so just like it's pretty good. Like
it's kind of funny.
Yeah, like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a cool list. I'd definitely like look at checking it out. It also runs the 6 dev sense as well, so because you can deep strike them in that one, so that's quite cool.
Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Indirect and dev sense. That sounds the sort of toxicity I love. So
yeah.
We're gonna see you at Fight Before Christmas with that.
That's the one.
Hope so.
You can place to Matt double Stormraven banishes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah. Other takeaways from WCW. I don't really like. I don't know if it was that shocking. Really, like I feel like everyone was kind of on AdMech is the best army in the game. Eldar is probably the second best army in the game. Yeah. Eldar has quite a poor matchup into AdMech. Like I feel like that's kind of
Yeah, and that's kind of what played out, right? Like over the entire event, like they both had very high win rates, but AdMech had a slightly higher win rate. AdMech had a 59% win rate and second highest number of players at the event, which is like 59% win rate with like 40 players is pretty crazy when there's only 400 players. Like it's very consistent army.
What a turnaround as well from where the game was not very long ago. Death Guard coming in, Knights.
Yeah.
Now we're in T3. It's like
big change. Yep.
Yeah. Which I'm all here for. I'm all here for, like, if you have to completely change your lists to build around something new. That's the part of the game that I love the most, is like figuring out how to like capitalize and beat like what is good at the moment. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah. What was you said? I kind of skim read your terrible video from the other day. I'm kidding. You said Dark Angels did quite well. I think that's kind of an interesting.
Yeah, they had quite a good win rate. They had like a 54% win rate, but only like 7 players. So all the data from WCW is always like very skewy, right? Because like 1 or 2 players can really skew the data. But like most players placed better than 50%. Like in the top 50%, which is I think quite interesting. Which is more telling than like actual win rates, because like one person going 7-1 and one person going 1-7 cancel each other out, right? It's still 50%, which doesn't really attribute too much, but like yeah, there was like a Wrath of the Rock list and a Stormlance list, and they're very different style lists. Both did really well, which I also thought was quite interesting. Like, I think Marines as a whole, no matter what detachment, what sub-faction you choose, are so wide right now, and so many options are available that I think so much is actually good. Like, Shadowmarked is still good. You know, Dark Angels are good. Space Wolves actually played horribly at WCW. They had like a 39% win rate. Like, actually horrible.
Oh, okay.
Which I was very surprised, because I think Space Wolves are genuinely quite good.
Right, yeah.
It just feels like
one of those Dark Angel lists, I think, was I had a look at one of the few I did was Kit Smith Hannah's. He was running Ironstorm Dark Angels with the newly discounted or buffed actually damage 3 land speed of vengeances. That's quite cool.
Yeah, it's like 6 speeders, right? It's like 3 Vengeance, 2 Hammer Strike, and a Thunder Strike or something. So it's just like all the fast tanks, which is like quite good in Ironstorm, because it doesn't give you any extra speed, but it gives you the extra damage and like volatility that you kind of need. And then having 14-inch move speeders already, you don't need the extra speed a lot of the time, which is quite cool. And like the stuff you can do with Vengeance is like stacking. So, you can shoot one, but then the other one gets to shoot back at you is like very funny as well. So
that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Pro local meta tip. If you go down to Wellington, they have some quite different terrain where it's very friendly to plunging fire, and you can essentially these thick buildings with platforms. You can fit things like bloat drones from Death Guard, and in this case, the Land Speed of Vengeance can just jump up very easily and shoot these things. It's quite fun. So I had a look at that. I was like, okay, I really liked playing Death Guard on this Wellington terrain. So those Vengeances would be real good.
Yeah.
Plunging fire bloat drone.
It's so cursed.
Brutal, I know. Yeah, so cursed.
Yeah. Well, Ryan played a Dark Angel Ironstorm list that was just like all speeders to an ACG event, like when the Marine Codex came out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Truly ahead of the meta.
It was Firestorm though, so very different.
No, it was. I'm fairly sure it was Ironstorm.
Oh, okay.
It?
I played him when he was playing a speeder list, and it was Firestorm. But
maybe I played a testing iteration or something, because I didn't know.
Could be different events as well. But no, Kit Smith Hannah's was sick. I saw that, and like just some of the interactions that come up, because you can shoot back if you don't die as well. So like the funny interactions with double Vengeance, right? So one of them gets to shoot back because he shot, and then you spend a CP, so the other one gets to shoot you as well. So if you don't kill a Vengeance, you get 2 Vengeances shooting back at you, which is just like not an attrition that you could often like deal with. So there's some very fun things you can do there. So it's some really like cool stuff. So really interesting list, really dynamic play as well, right? And just like interactions you don't necessarily think of, and then you have them presented to you, and you're like, oh, how do I actually deal with this? Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
All right then, I think that's probably enough for this episode. We'll be going for with our late start like an hour 20, so it's about pretty good. So I reckon we probably can call it quits for tonight. So I will say thank you very much, Courtney, for coming on. I appreciate you spending the time to gas with these two what's a good word? How would you describe us, Tate?
I'm not gonna open it up.
It's probably a good time to call it quits as well. But yeah, no, it's good fun. Thanks for having me
on. More than welcome.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, best of luck for. I'm assuming you are going to Are you going to Fight Before Christmas in Wellington?
Yeah, there's a bit coming up, hey. So Fight Before Christmas, on to Hamilton teams the week after.
Yeah.
And then Lakes of Blood next year, yeah.
Nice. Oh, jeez. Go to all the events.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Well, best of luck for all those. I'll be definitely keeping an eye out and seeing how you do, seeing what you take. I hope you take a different faction to each one, by the way. So it'll be neat.
Surely, just heavy intercessors and 3 different detachments for heavy intercessors.
Just more. The next event's 20, then 30.
Iron Hands, Iron Hands. they've got the character that give them a 5-up Feel No Pain. That seems quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scout and
Glorious.
5-up Feel No Pain. Ooh,
Pretty good. Pretty
pretty
good. I'll allow it.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you very much, guys. Otherwise, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, all the other stuff. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.